Linux Btrfs, convert to single with failed drive. A small amount of backstory. I have a small media file system, on which I store various movies and TV shows that are used for my HTPC setup. This was originally set up, using Btrfs, on a 1TB WD external drive. Later, I decided to purchase another drive, to give this file system RAID 1 mirroring capabilities. This drive is a Seagate Barracuda, 2TB, Barracuda 7200.14 family. Unfortunately, this was not a good choice of drive. The drive started developing large amounts of read errors shortly, although Btrfs was able to correct them. Recently, the amount of read errors from this drive has spiked, with its condition steadily worsening. Btrfs is now starting to crash. I'd like to remove the faulty drive from the RAID 1 array, going back to no redundancy on a single drive. Unfortunately, there seems to be a lack of documentation on how to do this. I am aware that one can run the following to convert the data profile to single mode, but I'm unsure as to just where the data will be placed. As one of the drives is failing, I'd like to be able to ensure that Btrfs doesn't dutifully erase all the data on the good drive and place a single copy on the bad drive. Instead, I'd like to simply act as if the other drive never existed, as in, convert back to my old setup. This doesn't work. What am I to do? Help would be greatly appreciated. TLDR, started with one drive in Btrfs single, added another drive, made it RAID 1, other drive is now erroring. How do I return to just one drive, specifically the known good one, with single?
Alright, I figured it out with the help of this Trello link. In case anyone else wants to do this, here's the procedure. Procedure. From a RAID 1 array of two disks, one/dev/sda which is faulty and another /dev/sdc known good. Disable auto-mounting of this array in /etc/stab, reboot. Basically, we want Btrfs to forget this array exists, as there's a bug where it'll still try to use one of the drives if it's unplugged. Now that your array is unmounted, execute echo 1 sudo t, replacing SDA with the faulty device name. This causes the disk to spin down. You should verify this in MESC, and become inaccessible to the kernel. Alternatively, just take the drive out of the computer before booting. I chose not to opt for this method, as the above works fine for me. Mount your array with O degraded mode, begin a rebalancing operation with sudo btrfs balance start f and convert equals single and convert equals single /mount point. This will reorganize the extents on the known good drive, converting them to single, non-RAID. This will take almost a day to complete, depending on the speed of your drive and size of your array. Mine had 700 GB, and rebalanced at a rate of 1 GB chunk per minute. Luckily, this operation can be paused, and will keep the array online while it occurs. Once this is done, you can issue sudo btrfs device remove missing /mount point, to remove that missing, faulty device. Begin a second rebalance with sudo btrfs balance start and convert equals dup /mount point, to restore metadata redundancy. This takes a few minutes on my system. You're done. Your array is now single mode, with all redundancy removed. Take your faulty drive outside, and beat it with a hammer. Troubleshooting. Help, Btrfs tried to write to my faulty disk, errored out, and forced it read-only. Did you follow step 1, and reboot before continuing? It's likely that Btrfs still thinks the drive you spun down is present. Rebooting will cause Btrfs to forget any errors, and will let you continue.
Thanks for your post. I had this idea that I could test out RAID, pop the drive out of my hotswap bay, use another drive and then pop the RAID drive back in. In retrospect, this was a bad idea, and now I need my hotswap bay. Here's what I found. As root. Note the devid listed for each drive. Man for Btrfs balance lead me to the devid option. Took a couple tries to figure out how the filters worked, initially trying devid equals /dev/sdb1. So your first attempt is going to look something like this. which gave me an error. Here's the error from Dmesk. So this is the final that worked. Hopefully this helps someone else out.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.